What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, I just wanted to apologize. It's been about 2 weeks since I last uploaded. We had started a weekly series. Well, I wanted it to be weekly, called Weekly GCap, where we just kind of talked about like everything that happened in the last week of gaming. Last week, I just had some stuff going on, and there wasn't really that much happening in the world of gaming anyway. But this week, we're going to be focusing solely on the Game Awards, all the announcements that happened, who won Game of the Year, etc. And for anybody curious, yes, we will be resuming Weekly GCap next week. We'll start doing it on a weekly basis, regardless of if there's a lot happening or not. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about everything that was announced yesterday, and I'm also kind of gonna give my thoughts on the games as we go along. So first, to kick things off, Returnal and The Last of Us are finally coming to PC. They've been PS5 exclusives for a while, but for all my PC fans, March 3rd, 2023, you can look forward to picking up The Last of Us Part 1. I already know the PC community is gonna go crazy with the mods. It's happened to every other PlayStation game that got ported to PC so far, so I can't wait to see Joel get turned into Kermit the Frog, and along with whatever other crazy mods you mad lads come up with. I don't believe Returnal actually had a release date announced, which is kind of unfortunate, but regardless, it'll be coming to PC at some point in 2023. That's a pretty good game as well. Definitely recommend picking it up, whether it was on your radar or not. Next up, we got Hellboy Web of Wyrd. I am honestly really freaking excited for this game. I am a massive Hellboy fan, so the fact that he's like finally getting his own like big game is just, it feels great. You know, the art style is kind of cool. It's got like that cel-shaded Borderlands type of look. Apparently, it's gonna be like a roguelite action game. That part of it, I'm not too sure how I feel about. I'm not personally into roguelites myself. I kind of just like, you know, straight point A to point B story linear games, something like that, if, you know, when it comes to these properties. I don't know. I feel like when you go into these different genres and stuff, you start to kind of get those like weird mesh titles like John Wick Hex, for example. I don't know. I'll still hold out hope. I'll still try out the game because, I mean, it's freaking Hellboy, so I have to. But some roguelites just go a bit overkill with the roguelite stuff, and it ends up killing the game for me. Hopefully, this one won't be as bad. Next up, Among Us is getting a new mode. I know this isn't much of an announcement, like a new game or anything like that, but I figured I'd include it because I know Among Us is huge and there's plenty of fans of the game. People could sit there and try to say, oh, Among Us is dying or it has died, but dude, if you look at the player counts, it's still doing just fine. Just because not as many people are making videos on it doesn't mean that not a lot of people are still playing it. You know what I mean? Like, there's still plenty of people playing the game. It's still very popular. Anyway, December 9th, hide and seek. Hope you guys enjoy it. Street Fighter 6 finally got its release date, June 2nd, 2023. Now, the first half of 2023, it's getting a little jam-packed, maybe a little too jam-packed. There's a lot of releases coming up, and you're going to see that as we go along here. Like, all of these are slated for, like, the first half of 2023, and we're not even, like, an eighth of the way through the announcements yet. Hades 2, this one was actually very surprising to me, but, you know, they blew it out of the water with Hades 1. Personally, I never played it through to completion, but from what I did play, I really enjoyed the game. We didn't really get too much information on it, just, like, a quick little trailer announcing it. Some people weren't sure if this was just going to be an expansion at first, but no, it turns out it's literally a full-blown sequel. Again, we don't know too much about this, but I'm still pretty excited. I'm gonna dive in and at least try it out. I'll probably go back and try to finish up Hades 1 actually first before I get into this one. It won't be out until later in 2023, maybe early 2024, but it will be released in early access next year in 2023. Another game that I am super hyped for that I had not heard anything about this before. I don't even know if it was leaked out before, but Judas, it's being headed by the daddy of BioShock, aka Ken Levine, an absolute legend. Again, not too much is known about this game, and that's a common trend among many of the games that were announced. Most of these were either really brief gameplay trailers without too much explanation or talk after the fact, as, you know, this was a pretty jam-packed showcase as is. It lasted for like 2.5, almost 3 hours. So, you know, for the sake of the show not going over for like 5 or 6 hours, it's probably good that there wasn't huge explanations for everything that was announced, but yeah, there wasn't really too much to it. It's just usually like brief gameplay trailers. Some of them were literally just like CGI trailers. But hey, listen, I'm a sucker for the gaming hype and marketing. All I need is a good CGI trailer, and even that is enough to get me hype for a game. Bayonetta Origins will be coming to the Switch on March 17th, 2023. I am honestly really excited for this one. Even though I don't have a Nintendo Switch just yet, I may end up picking one up just for this game. I love Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta 1. Didn't get to play Bayonetta 2 or 3, but once I pick up a Switch, I'll definitely be picking up Bayonetta 3, and I'll definitely be picking up this game. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, we still don't know a whole lot about this game. I don't believe they showed any gameplay, and if they did, it was very minimal, mostly just CGI trailers, but we did learn something fantastic last night. Kevin Conroy, rest in peace, fly high, man. I'm literally getting chills talking about him right now. I think I speak for many when I say that he shaped a lot of our childhoods with, you know, providing us the definitive Batman voice. His contribution to the character of Batman and Batman as we know him today cannot be understated. thank you, Kevin Conroy, for everything you did for this character. That being said, it seems like they were able to finish up whatever voice lines they needed from him before his unfortunate passing a few weeks back. So, you know, it's pretty nice to know that we still have a little bit of Kevin Conroy to experience yet. Again, after Gotham Knights, you know, I'm not too sure how I'm going to feel about this game. It's seeming like it's going to be a bit better than Gotham Knights. Obviously, it's hard to say, but regardless, with Kevin Conroy being in there, I just feel like it would be a disservice not to at least try out this game. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited for this game, man. I did not get to actually complete Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order until earlier this year, but man, when I did, oh, I fell in love. I wanted more, and the fact that they left it off on a cliffhanger, it's just, why? I hate when games leave stuff off on a cliffhanger. Anyway, March 17th, 2023, we'll be playing the new Star Wars, and I'm so giddy for that. I'm so excited. Earthblade also got announced. This is made by the same people that developed Celeste. Unfortunately, I never got to play Celeste. It's one of the games on the backlog that, you know, I need to get to along with the other thousands of games. But after seeing a trailer, I'm pretty excited. I think I'm going to go back and take care of Celeste next, and then I'll be ready for Earthblade whenever it releases next year. Death Stranding 2 will be releasing for the PS5. There's no release date yet, so this could be years out yet. Honestly, I bet they just unveiled this just to put all the rumors and leaks to rest because, you know, if you pay attention to the gaming news, obviously this has been leaked. This has been out there for a while. Everybody's kind of known about this. I think even Norman Reedus himself said something about this in an interview a while ago. So, I mean, it's cool that it's finally announced. It's official. It's out there in the wild. I wonder when the release date is actually going to be. Again, I don't know if it's going to be in 2023 or if it's going to be farther out, 2024, maybe even 2025. Either way, it's okay. You know, Death Stranding 1 is still another game that's very deep in my backlog, and I have to get to that game at some point, you know, someday in the future. You know, I say that for all the games in my backlog. I'll get there eventually. Diablo 4 releases June 6th, 2023. You know, of course they had to release it on June 6th. It's Diablo. What else? Another game I'm super pumped for. Loved Diablo 2 back in the day. Didn't spend as much time as 3, but still love that, and as controversial as this is to say, I loved the core fundamentals and gameplay of Diablo Immortal. Obviously, I hate all the egregious monetization practices. It's unacceptable, dude. It's a Diablo game. Let us have fun. Stop making players charge, what was it, like $10,000 if you wanted to achieve literally everything in the game? Why? Honestly, I think that should be illegal, just straight up. I think that level of in-game purchases should be illegal. Regardless, let's hope and pray Diablo 4 isn't that egregious with it. June 6th, you already know I'll be playing it. Definitely probably gonna even pre-order this one. This next announcement, I'm not too sure how to feel about. It kind of feels like they're kicking PS4 players in the nuts, but Horizon Forbidden West DLC exclusive to PS5 releases April 19th, 2023. I'm not too sure how to feel about that. If the PS4 could already handle the base game as is, what is the DLC gonna throw at it besides maybe some fancy I don't understand. If the PS4 could handle the base game, I don't think there's gonna be that much extra stuff that the PS4 couldn't handle, you know what I'm saying? Again, obviously this game is like graphically intense as heck, and I mean, if you look at PS5 gameplay, it's absolutely outstanding, but still, if the base game was able to run it on the PS4 by just kind of turning down the graphic dials a bit, why couldn't they just do that for the DLC as well? Now PS4 players are just kind of getting like half of the experience. Well, maybe not half of the experience, but you know, they're only getting the base game. They won't get the extra story stuff with the DLC. I think it's kind of BS. If you're gonna put a game out on a platform, commit. Either support it or just don't even do it in the first place. One game that's my exception to that is Cyberpunk, just because that game barely ran on last-gen consoles as it is, and even more content probably would make the console set on fire. Which, speaking of that, let's get that out of the way. Cyberpunk DLC, Phantom Liberty. This will be coming out at some point in 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we got a release date for it. This is gonna be a bit different. Unfortunately, we will not be playing as V. I was kind of hoping there'd be a chance that we could still play as V because I honestly love V in Cyberpunk, but is what it is. We'll be playing as a veteran called Solomon Reed, and there wasn't too much to the trailer. Again, just some cool cinematics, a little bit of gameplay. Regardless, I'm pretty excited for this as well. Unfortunately, I still have a PS4 and an Xbox One. I don't have a Series X or PS5, so I won't be able to actually experience this DLC, but once I do get my hands on one of those, I'll definitely be checking it out. Next up, this is an interesting one. Blue Protocol. This is an anime MMO. Now, every time that I think anime MMO, I'm kind of like, do we really need another one of those? If you open up, you know, your store on Steam or on your Play Store on the phone or even on Xbox or PS4, there's still, you know, a good number of anime MMOs. First thing that comes to mind is stuff like Tower of Fantasy or Genshin Impact. But regardless, we're getting yet again another one. Hopefully it'll be good. It's coming out in the second half of 2023, and I believe there's going to be early access in the first half for PC of 2023 for the game. When it does finally come to consoles in the second half of 2023, it is just going to be a next-gen exclusive, which I think that's kind of how it's going to be going forward. I think most of the games after these last few less intensive ones, you know, make their way to the last gen consoles. I'm pretty sure like the first half of 2023 is going to be the last wave of games that actually make it to the last gen. I think for the rest of the generation, we're just going to be looking straight at PS5 and Series X/PC releases. Next up is one I am so excited for this one. Transformers Reactivate. It's an action game supporting anything from 1 to 4 players. It's being developed by Splash Damage, which honestly, I'm not too familiar with them. I haven't heard of them before. I may have played one of their games, but I just don't know them on like a name basis. But hey, it's coming to the Series X, PS5, and PC, and I'll definitely be checking it out whenever I got my hands on one of the new machines. Crash Team Rumble. This is probably the one that I am the least excited for out of everything announced. When I think Crash Bandicoot, I'm thinking of a new game, okay? Give me Crash Bandicoot 5. I really love the one, It's About Time, that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. But they announced this and I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? Like, it's Crash Bandicoot, but it looks like a multiplayer arena shooter. It's really bizarre. It will be coming out on last-gen consoles, though, so if you still have an Xbox One or PS4, you'll be able to experience this as well if you'd really want to. Personally, I don't even know. If it's a premium price game, I'm probably not even going to get it. If anything, I'm just going to go back and play Insane Trilogy or It's About Time or one of the PS1 originals if I really need my Crash Bandicoot fix. I don't know. I mean, it looks okay. If it's free to play, I'll get it, but this next one is really interesting. So, on March 28th, 2023, we'll be getting a new game called Crime Boss Rockay City. This is a very interesting game, and it is jam-packed with a celebrity cast. So let me go ahead and name off every celebrity that is in this game. Michael Madden, Kim Basinger, Damien Poitier, sorry if I said that name wrong, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker, Vanilla Ice, and Chuck Norris. That is one hell of a cast for an action game. Usually I'm against celebrities being in games, but I feel like this just works for the type of game they're going for. You know, obviously if the title didn't give it away, this is one of those like crime stories, you know what I mean? One of those like mafia, gangster, crime, Godfather type stories, you know what I mean? It's gonna be playable solo or with friends, so that's pretty nice. I mean, I guess you and your buds could go in, somebody's Michael Rooker, the other's Vanilla Ice, you got Chuck Norris over there and Kim Basinger on the turret. It's just crazy seeing all these people, you know, being adapted to video games. Obviously, a few of them have been before, like Danny Trejo was in Far Cry 6, and Michael Rooker was in one of the Call of Duty Zombies maps back in Black Ops 1, Call of the Dead. Man, correct me if I'm wrong. Never seen Chuck Norris in a video game, but I kind of like it. We only have a few more things to cover. So, you guys know From Software, right? Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Yeah, well, guess what? They're finally drifting away from that. Well, they're not drifting away from it, but they're taking a break from making Souls games, which, honestly, I think that's a good thing. I don't think any developer should have to feel like they have to make, like, one certain game. I feel like every developer should just make whatever they want to make, you know? It kind of makes me feel bad for studios like, you know, the Call of Duty ones, especially, like, Treyarch. Treyarch used to make a bunch of different and really good games, but now they just kind of have to make Call of Duty. Hopefully, if and when Microsoft acquires Activision, that'll change and those studios can make other things again. Don't get me wrong, I love the Call of Duty games. I'm a COD cocksucker. I pre-order them literally every single year, and I love Call of Duty to death, but I do wish those developers would get a chance to make other games again like they used to. Anyway, side tangent out of the way, yes, we're finally going to be getting Armored Core 6. I am so excited for this game. I love the OG Armored Cores. The last Armored Core that I played was Armored Core 4. I didn't even get to play 5. It will be coming to all consoles as well, including Xbox One and PS4, so thankfully, I'll get to play this. I've been anticipating this game for a while. There's been leaks and rumors that it's been in development, and thankfully they were all true, and I definitely recommend checking this game out when it comes out if you haven't played the other Armored Core games before. I can say right now, there's zero chance that you won't like it. The games are amazing. Last but definitely not least, Final Fantasy 16. Let me tell you guys, I love Final Fantasy to death, okay? Final Fantasy 7, 10, 15, loved all of those. I didn't really get to play too much of the other ones. I've dabbled in them a bit. Oh, like Final Fantasy 3, that's one that I never completed, but I love that game from what I played on the SNES. However, when it came to like new games releasing, I've never really been one to be too hype. I'm like, okay, that's one I'll check out. Like when Final Fantasy 15 was coming out, I was like, okay, that looks cool. Yeah, sure, I'll play it at some point. But Final Fantasy 16, oh my god, this seems right on my alley. They're finally going for that mature rating. They're giving us a gritty, violent story. If you look at that trailer, like the tone is just so different from any other Final Fantasy that we've gotten. The graphics look amazing, combat looks amazing, there's blood, there's death. I love it. I have a very twisted mind, and I'm into those like deep, dark, violent, depressing, gritty stories, and this just has it all. It is beautiful. I don't want to spoil too much about it. If you haven't watched the trailer, please go watch the trailer. Or if you're anything like me, I didn't really even watch the full trailer. I watched a little bit of it, and then I clicked off. I kind of like going into video games as blind as possible. I barely watch video game trailers anymore because even trailers tend to kind of like spoil stuff, you know what I mean? I like going in absolutely blind, having no idea what to expect. But if you haven't been too hyped for a Final Fantasy game before, if you're new to the series, or if you're not sure how to feel about this new one coming up, watch the trailer for about 30 seconds, click off just as I did, and I promise you that will be enough for you to be like, okay, Final Fantasy 16, let's go, baby. I don't believe there was a release date for it just yet. Alright, I just Google checked it. We actually did get a release date last night, June 22nd, 2023, so it's only about 6-7 months out now. And that was all of the announcements. I definitely want to hear from you guys down below. Which one was your favorite announcement, or which one are you most hyped for? But don't leave yet, because the video's not over. Now, we're not going to go over all of the awards, but there was one that we obviously needed to talk about. Game of the Year. For a bit there, I wasn't sure who was going to win. God of War was getting a lot of awards, but at the end of the night, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, and I definitely believe it deserved it. Great job, kudos, round of applause for everybody at From Software. You guys worked your ass off for this. You made a phenomenal game, a game for the ages that will never be forgotten. You guys deserve this victory. Thank you so much for Elden Ring. Unfortunately, I was a little late to the hype train, I have to admit. I didn't start playing Souls games until literally 2 months. Yeah, it was literally just 2 months ago now. I beat Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 in a bender just in a couple weeks, and then I hopped straight into Elden Ring just a couple days ago, and I am absolutely loving it to death. FromSoft, if anybody from there that developed this game is watching this, thank you so much. Your guys' contribution to the gaming industry is unmatched. You guys literally, your games made a whole subgenre of video games that people try to copy and follow every single day. So I know I speak for me and many other gamers when I say thank you guys so much for Elden Ring, and again, congratulations on winning Game of the Year. But it's not all sunshine, roses, and smiles. Some stupid kid decided to follow the people on stage, which I can't even understand how bad the security must be for this to even have happened. What if that kid wasn't just like a kid, you know what I mean? What if he was like a psycho terrorist and he had a gun or a bomb and he blew everybody up right there? I know it's kind of some outlandish thinking, but is it really that outlandish in nowadays, you know, climate, you know what I mean? Anyways, as soon as they gave their acceptance speech and went to walk off, this kid went up to the mic, started rambling something about Bill Clinton. I don't know, it was really bizarre, it was stupid, it was not funny at all. They were talking about this kid getting locked up, and honestly, I think he should. While on one hand, yes, it is the security's fault for not taking care of that as soon as it happened. Again, how that kid even made it on stage, I'll never understand, but there should definitely be a punishment for this. You can't just get a slap on the wrist with everything in your life. There needs to be more crackdown. Not to be too mean here, but like 90% of Gen Z kids are absolutely stupid and think it's hilarious to pull stuff like this and get away with it when it's not. You're not funny, nobody's laughing with you, they're laughing at you because you're absolutely stupid. Literally nobody thinks you or the fact that this happened is funny. It's laughable because it's so stupid, not because of what you did. You, yourself, you're a laughing stock, and that kid should be ashamed. What a way to try to steal the thunder and take all the attention away from some developers and people that have been working their ass off that totally deserve all of the attention that they were getting in that moment for accepting Game of the Year. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. Anyway, tangents out of the way, I want to hear from you guys down below. Once again, what games you most excited for? What games you most hyped for? Were you expecting Elden Ring to win Game of the Year? Were you hoping it would be God of War? Were you hoping it would be something else? Whatever you're thinking, let me know down in the comments. Again, from here on out, I'm going to try posting on this channel every single Friday. We can do the weekly GCAP series where we just kind of talk about whatever's been happening in gaming for that week. Just do a quick, like, weekly recap of all the gaming news. You guys absolutely killed it with the support on the last episode. I believe we got, like, almost 300 views. Dude, I have, like, 20-some subscribers. I mean, this is just my second channel. Over on my main channel, I'm actually on the road to YouTube partner, which is pretty freaking exciting, if I'm being honest. Like, dude, I can't believe I'm almost YouTube partner on my main channel. It's literally been a dream since I was, like, a little kid. But anyway, over here on the second channel, like, I wasn't expecting any of the videos to do that well, so seeing the amount of support that I got really made me feel better, and if you guys want to see those videos continue, then I'll keep doing it on a weekly basis. Anyway, that's that. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.